Inspector Savage. What's cracking? It's your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage, here to bring you a channeled message this morning. It's currently 9:03 a.m. on January 13th, 2024. It's currently 6 degrees Fahrenheit and cloudy in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's cold than a mug outside, okay? So stay safe out there. Stay warm. If you have a warm place to be in today, stay there. Let's send some prayers out to people who are homeless, who don't have a place to live, that are out here on these streets. It's a terrible thing. But yeah, let's give some thanks to my dad, the Most High, for bringing us here to commune and be divine together to share these messages. Yeah, what's up, babe? What's up, collective? All right, so I was listening to somebody this morning, and something dawned on me. There's this whole thing about identity theft. People stealing people's identities and swapping destinies and doppelganger, spiritual birth. People doppelganging you, trying to be you. But we always talk about people doing this for capital gain or for some type of success. Now that does come along with it. It's considering if you're a chosen one, if you have an anointing over your life, if you have a protection over your life, over your journey. It's an ordained, protected journey. But I thought about this a while ago, and when I was listening to something this morning, it came back into my head. Why people are destiny swapping and stealing identities, yo. We do a lot of talk on these channels about trafficking, especially child trafficking, and people having to be on the registry list. Now, I'm going to tell you that I was in, and I still have the screenshots from it, and the investigative reporting, okay? Because I be Inspector Savage moment. This might be an Inspector Savage moment. Probably is. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We about to have a little bit of an investigative psychic investigation, okay? So a while ago, I have these screenshots. They're in my Facebook account, and I don't fuck with Facebook. I refuse to sign in there for anything, not yet anyway. The Most High keeps telling me just avoid Facebook at all costs because there's too much going on in there, and I don't want no parts of anybody that's been hacking. I know they've been hacking into my accounts, doing all kind of shit, and I just stay away from that. But I had happened to be I had followed some breadcrumbs that Spirit had left me from one of these people that were supposed to be my friends, a narc. Because once again, they think they're so clever. They're doing all these undercover kind of covert operations, all these gang stalking meetings and meeting in all these different places. But I happened to stumble upon a Reddit string. Is that what they call it? My bad. Now, see, this camera been working just fine. So the enemy knows I'm about to talk about this and post it, and it's scared. It's scared. Okay. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Please share this video. I think it's going to be very informative anyway, because we're gonna talk about some things. I may pull some cards, may not. We don't know yet. But what I will do is tell you that this is going to be something that's going to get you to thinking about some stuff. Okay. I also want you to think about the fact that it's not just men, it's women too that do this. Women are, men are more on there than women are, but there are women that are on this list as well. But I followed some breadcrumbs from some friends of mine, and I told you, like, I never really looked that much into the people that I was around. I just never thought, I never, now I do. But, back then, which wasn't really that long ago, over the last 3 or 4 years or so, I started, I didn't think about running background checks or looking into people, but now I do, and I should have then. But it's a journey. But so I happened to find out that I was being set up Definitely was. I think I was being set up for a number of different reasons, but people kept putting me in different traps, setting different traps for me that I just wouldn't fall into. And so, like, I'm not gonna go all because I've discussed it at length before about this pending, these charges that I got there for these false accusations, and I'm gonna explain why this happened. So I happened to had been around people whom I didn't know had been arrested for different type of sexual offenses. Now, this is a period of time when I was, in the drug world, in these, in a very low vibrational society of people. Around low vibrational things, doing low vibrational things. None of my low vibrational things, I will repeat, involved anything to do with any kind of children, unless it was babysitting or beating the hell out of somebody's kids for being smart to their uncle. That's it. Just doing regular shit, But a lot of these people kept their sexual demons and perversions well hidden. And the scary part is that I was around these people all the time and I never knew it. But I was lucky enough to get some breadcrumbs to go to this Reddit post where these people actually discussed getting me set up so that 229 on the clock has something to do with the hometown. This could be in Thomasville. This could resonate with somebody in Thomasville, Georgia. You could be from Thomasville, Georgia, or Albany area, all the same area code. Take the energy as it fucking resonates. You feel me? But they discussed how they were going to set me up to get me on the list, the registry list, to falsely accuse me of some things because I had made some comments and I basically like cut some folks off when I found out what they were about, what had actually, like, what they had been arrested for. And I'm very vocal about my opinion about that. Anybody that would even be offended about the fact that I'm speaking out against child trafficking or child molestation is a fucking pedophile, point blank, period. Why would you have a problem with somebody doing that? But this was just a group of people who projected their issues onto me behind my back. Now, the most unfortunate part about this whole kind of this justice system, this legal system, is that anybody can say anything and report it to the police, and the police will investigate it or maybe press charges. And that's unfair because they should do a really kind of thorough investigation. But, and then also to people who tell their children to do that, or tell children to do that, to lie, it minimizes the amount of protection or believability, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, the believability of what a child says. So children end up becoming the boy that cried wolf. And that's not fair to kids either. And these adults that push their kids to do these kind of things should really be heavily prosecuted. And I'm not talking about probation. I'm talking about these bitches and niggas need to sit behind prison bars. Okay? And so, like, truly, because I can definitely attest to how it has heavily impacted my life in a very negative way, because somebody's wanted to, take me off of my high horse or to bring me to their level of demonic energy. That's weird, but it's true. But I was thinking a while ago, and I just got the download again about 4, 5, 6 on the clock. We're heading in the right direction about this destiny swapping. This identity theft. The money, I always say this, the money is an incentive for what people do. But that's not the reason why people do what they do. People do what they do, and it's fueled by jealousy and envy, hatred. But I think we all need to take a moment to consider that people do these things because they have something to hide. For a while, I was wondering, like, I've done my due diligence. I've done my research. I've done my listen, okay? I've found some things that have made me believe that there are people, the people that I know, their names are either their names match somebody who's passed away to the T, or it's a variation of somebody. So, of somebody's name. So say, like, if your name is, I've learned this from somebody a long time ago. People commit identity fraud. So say, like, if you have a relative in your family and your name is Tom Jones, I'm just using a regular name, Your name is Tom Jones. You're Tom Jones. You've been arrested for, you're on the registry list. Or let's just say, for instance, if you just want to commit some type of fraud, financial fraud, it's very easy. I don't know how to do this, so don't get me started. But it's very easy for somebody that has the same name as somebody to assume the identity of a deceased person. Yep. Apparently it is. And I did do some looking around online, but I'm going to get to that. But I want you to think about, if you're around people and they, and they're into fraud, if you're with somebody in a relationship and some things are coming back weird and you're like, wait a minute, look into that. Because I'm here to tell you that if somebody's moving funny, and you're picking up on stuff, they got something to hide. But this identity fraud cases, these destiny swap cases, where people trying to off you, they trying to off you not just for insurance money, they're trying to off you so that they can then assume your name, so they can hide and continue to be fucking pedophiles and not have to register on these lists. I'm trying to tell you this. That's the download I just got. I got it before. It was a thought that crossed my mind, but this is on a whole new level, because when a person assumes the name of somebody who's chosen, or the life of somebody that's chosen, it's an anointed life. It's a covered life, and so they assume that they can walk in shrouded in darkness, or shrouded behind a cloak of your name, to live your destiny, because theirs is already fucked up. They've already done some highly amoral and sinful things. Okay? And so they think that taking over your anointed and blessed life is going to somehow absolve them of their punishment, or living the life that they created for themselves. And I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about the majority of these motherfuckers on these lists deserve to be on there. Whether they've sexually assaulted a child, or an adult, an animal even. And if you're intuitive and you're tapped in, once your gifts are there, you can tell when somebody's on some perv shit. You can tell it, and you shouldn't ignore it. There were plenty of red flags that I got about from people that were around me. And I just thought I was tripping at first, but no, I'm not tripping. This is a whole kind of underground industry. You can think that it does not occur in your area, because when you really kind of consider, I was in Rochester, Minnesota. I didn't really think that that it would be that concentrated and heavy down there, but it is. I mean, Rochester is 20 minutes away from the intersection of I-35 and I-90. And that's where that's like the drug trafficking and sex trafficking intersection capital of the United States. So there's a lot of in and outs going on down there, which is why the justice system down there is corrupt. Okay, I'm saying it. The police officers, the people in the judicial system, a lot of these people are involved in this drug trafficking and sex trafficking, which is why it was so easy for them to not investigate the charges that I had been accused of. Because it's the whole thing about the covering, the anointing, the taking down of these chosen ones, trying to discredit us so that we can't do our job here on earth. You feel me? That's why I'm also telling you too, when you start to, if you're around people, there's somebody who's gonna see this video today, you are around people right now who don't mean you any good, who are probably trying to set you up for false charges, to drug charges, or worse, which would be death or sacrifice. And then especially considering the fact that if you are intuitive and you do an Inspector Savage moment, and people start to see that you know a lot, or you know too much, when you can never know too much about the enemy around you, to protect yourself, they'll try to get rid of you and then put a price tag on your head, get some life insurance on you real quick. But a lot of these people that I've come across, and they were being sent my way too, to further implicate me, to set me up. And that's why hermit mode has been, while they thought that they were forcing me into isolation to hurt me, it actually helped me a great deal, because I made a choice to stay away from these people. And that's why all these towers are falling from around these people. I don't have any physical proof or evidence of that yet, but I don't need it, because I already know what God promised me, and I pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. So I did look up some things here. I'm just gonna go over a couple of things just because I wanted to just make sure I was and so this was an article. It was written in 2015, but it's still very much prevalent. You feel me? It's by Utica College. It was dated on February 26, 2015. Two techniques that sex offenders use to escape detection from the law are manipulating their ID and residing at addresses other than those reported to authorities, a nationwide study found. Findings indicate that several of the most frequently used methods to avoid tracking included using multiple aliases, using various identifying information such as social security numbers and dates of birth, which is important because if a name matches a date of birth and a social security number, or something close to it, nobody's going to look into that. So I've seen evidence of people that I know that have the same names, but they have different social security numbers. Don't ask me how I know I saw that, but I saw it. You feel me? Okay, because just like they was trying to dig up dirt on me, which they couldn't find, I dug up some shit on these people and I found it. Payola type shit. You feel me? So a lot of these people are dealing with, they have different social security numbers, or they definitely different social security numbers and different dates of birth. Okay, and fake IDs at that. You know, people can go on the dark web and order just about anything. Military IDs, state IDs, driver's license, social security cards. And the black market, the dark web is a black market for the identities of people. This is where they sell people's identities. Okay? And dead people at that. So that people can have new identities. And we all know the dark web is a breeding ground for pedophiles and people that like to sexually assault people, sexually deviant people. And it just is. And so, that's why it's, I was always one of those people that if I invited somebody, I always kind of had, why do I need to put up anything in my house? This is why. Because your identities, people will steal your bank account information. People will steal your social security number, social security cards, IDs, and sell your identity on the web. And then you got to take it to a spiritual level. Again, with the destiny swapping. A lot of times too, people, like I said, you don't think that you have anything that people want, but you don't know that. The enemy can always see the anointing over your life. They already see what blessings you have ahead of you. And so what people will do is they'll do some digging, and they will find whether or not you have money that's been left to you that you don't know anything about, or like a large amount of money that maybe somebody set aside for you, or that you had in a bank account when you were a kid that you forgot about that has grown over time, or an opportunity. These people actually do this shit for a living. There's a whole group of these people. I'm telling you, it's a whole crime ring type shit. But to get back to what I'm talking about here, the date of birth, stealing identifying information from family members. Okay, just like if you have a family member and you have the same name as this family member, or a family member that's already deceased, or if they can look like you. You feel me? This is what people do in manipulating their names. I just said that, using the address or family members or friends, altering their physical appearance. I just said that, and moving to another state with less stringent laws. Okay, and just to be clear, Minnesota law identifies identity theft as any person who transfers, possesses, or uses an identity that is not the person's own with the intent to commit aid or abet in an unlawful activity. Okay? And Jeffrey Warner, a criminal defense attorney, I just found on there February 3rd, 2022. You got to give credit where credit is due. The 3 reasons why people do this is financial gain is the most common reason. They take out loans, make purchases in other people's credit cards, steal another person's tax return, open and make purchases on multiple lines of credit, but make no payments. Revenge. I didn't even know that was going to come up, but revenge. Another goal someone might have when committing identity theft is revenge. Anyone who has a credit card compromised or their identity stolen can attest to how inconvenient and stressful it is. The experience is. An individual seeking revenge may commit ID theft in order to burden the intended victim with the consequences. Because once your credit's fucked up, once identity theft has occurred, it is very hard to clean it up. It is a constant process. Filling out affidavits, filing disputes. And so at this point, I think in my particular situation, it'd be best if these motherfuckers just gave me a whole new social. For realsies. Because it's something that, if somebody has your identifying information, yeah, you can do like a lifelock kind of thing. You can do that shit, but there's always ways around that. And people will. Let's say like if you tell somebody you're planning on buying, this is why it's very important to watch what you tell people as well. You're telling somebody I'm about to buy a house. I'm planning on buying a house. Now we all know that when you're buying a house, you can't apply for any kind of credit. Not while you're trying to get a loan. If somebody knows that you're trying to buy a house or get something financed, but especially a house, somebody that hates your guts or somebody that can't stand you would take your information and go apply for a line of credit, and that would fuck up all of your financing. It would. You would have to wait and get that cleared up, and that's unfair. You know, there should be better ways to protect our identity besides doing LifeLock or putting our, locking up. We shouldn't have to live like that, but this is the world we live in, blah, 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 blah. But it's also the number 3, to hide another crime. As previously mentioned, aggravated identity theft is when someone steals someone's identity and commits another crime. In these instances, the individual who has their identity stolen may suffer no financial losses, but instead serve as a smokescreen for concealing the actual perpetrator. That's deep. I expected like financial gain there, but a revenge and to hide another crime. So yeah, you got people that are, I'm telling you now, that's why it's so easy for these people to be implanted, to be planted in our communities. And you got to understand too that this is a whole industry. This is a whole crime industry. It's an underground industry that people who are pedophiles aren't just people that seedy looking neighbors that live down the street. These are people in office. These are people in these government offices. These are people in the entertainment industry. These are people with tons of money who it's kind of like, to think about it like a pyramid or like a business structure. You got these people at the top. Let's call these people, some of these people are 1%ers. They just are, and these are people that have a lot of power, wealth, and control in the world. These are people that if they wanted to, could or think they can, or have been able to up until now, because we are now in the year of the age of Aquarius. I know, instead of what people believe. We're waking up. And so this is why these videos are important. That's why it's important to stay connected to a good, reputable spiritual community where there's not a bunch of people being false prophets who don't want sheeple. They want independent thinkers to help change things. Because these people that are at the 1%, these people at the top, they have these people that I'm telling you, I'm seeing it now. I don't know, I've never been a part of any of this, but I can see it, and it makes sense what they do. This cat's crazy. It makes sense what people do. It just makes sense that they would have people who don't have means, who don't have a lot of money, but who also share the same kind of sexually deviant behavior, who are also fellow pedos. Okay? Geppetto? Is that it? I don't know. Does that from Pinocchio? I just heard that. Oh, that's deep. That's deep as hell. Geppetto. I wonder if that's where that name comes from. Pedophile, Geppetto. Let's face it. He did make a little boy and pray for out of wood, and prayed that little boy became a real boy. That's deep. Spiritual showers definitely order at that. Damn, I just thought about that. But so what people do is that they scout. It's a whole underground industry. I'm telling you, what they do is that they will have people. I'm getting it now. People that have maybe been arrested for sex offenses, they need to be on the list. These people in these high seats with a lot of money, help them get new identities, help them get new starts so that they can traffic. And again, it's not just about deviant sexual behavior. It's about siphoning the purest light out of a being. The sexual offense is done to kill their spirit, to make them like them, so that the cycle continues. That's fucked up. Yeah. I'm thinking that what I'm intuitively kind of feeling, it's about, a lot of these things are about to be exposed. A lot of these organizations, these nonprofits, after school programs, a lot of these places have been established for years and have played a very big part in the trafficking, this underground trafficking industry. And see, I understand like why people have done the things that they've done to me, because I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to be a voice for people, probably maybe even for people, younger children, younger people. And so they saw that for me, and they wanted to try to ruin that for me, so that I couldn't help the world, and like making this. It sounds cliche, but making the world a better place, taking these motherfuckers down. Because these people are ruthless. They really are. And they will go to they will stop at nothing. Because you got to really kind of consider it, especially if you got somebody like me who's intuitive, who can see things, who can use cards to predict things or get clarification. That's why a lot of us readers are being attacked, because these people have a very comfortable life with these new starts funded by these government, these people in these government agencies or in the entertainment industry that have the means to help these people get new lives and start new lives under different identities, so long as they help traffic people. And then when they see that, you get somebody like me who is so against that, totally against that, and has a gift to see through things, they want to destroy us. Tarnish our name and our reputations, to take away our liberties and our freedoms. It irritates me. Like, I'm angry right now. But we transmute that, because the Most High is walking with me. Okay? And I got people to help me. I got ancestors, I got guardian angels, I got people in the spiritual community that got my back. And I appreciate that. And so I'm gonna leave this. I'm not gonna pull any cards on this. I feel like this is a message that just needed to be put out there. It'll hit the right ears. It definitely will. And so what I'm going to continue to keep saying to you guys is, you got to be vigilant and keep your spiritual ears in the sky and on the ground. If you see something, do not dismiss it. Do not tell yourself, oh, I'm just tripping. Don't do that. Because if you're intuitive, that's an intuitive nudge telling you that you're probably around somebody or some people that you don't need to be around. And if something doesn't seem right with your kids and you got somebody around your kids, maybe you need to remove that person. Or if your kid's going to an after-school program or to a neighbor's house or something after school and they're starting to act weird, you need to ask your kid what's going on. Give them a safe space to talk about it. Okay? All right. I guess that's it. I'm your Uncle 79, the Spiritual Savage. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Share this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I also appreciate the financial contributions made to my channel. I appreciate you. Remember, you grow, I grow, I grow, you grow, we grow together. It's always love and light around this bitch. And as always, stay safe out there. You feel me? I love you. Deuces. Savage.